guys, Rasmus here, and today we're going to be talking about one of my guitars, a guitar I got about half a year ago, which is this Schecter Blackjack. This is a pretty old guitar. I guess it's close to 20 years old. I think these were made in like 2003, 2004, somewhere thereabouts. And yeah, I brought this for 250 euros, and that's a pretty good price, considering that these would probably be around 1,000 euros today. So just for reference, I'm playing this guitar through my PV6505. There's a tube screamer in front, and it's going into a 2x12 EVH cab that's mic'd with two SM57s in a sort of Fretman configurations. So it sounds like So the construction of this guitar is a mahogany body, mahogany neck, as far as I know, with a rosewood fretboard. And then it has a tunematic bridge, whereas I guess the more modern alternative would be to have like a hipshot bridge, sort of the lower kind of profile ones. But I actually really like this. And then it has Grover tuners, and yeah, it stays in tune pretty great. The scaling on this is 26.5. So yeah, pretty modern, pretty much what you would find on kind of a sold today 7-string guitar. It'd definitely be passive pickups, a bit longer scale length than the 25.5. So all in all, not bad. There is sort of a caveat with the bridge here, that you have these strings that ring out here in the bottom. So as you can see, I've put a little cloth around it to mute those, and I've also muted the strings up here at the nut, just to make it sound a bit tighter. The guitar is a set neck, meaning that the neck is glued into the body, but it's done quite well, so it's quite a smooth transition and doesn't really hinder your playing while you're playing on the high frets. The neck is thick on this. It is it is pretty much a baseball bat, or like half a baseball bat. It's very round, and it is very thick. It's by far the thickest neck that I have on any of my guitars. Even my basses have thinner necks, I think. So it is quite a thick neck, and definitely took me a bit of getting used to. And also I think Schecter, once they kind of made revisions to this guitar and other models over the years, they definitely made the necks a lot thinner. I've tried in stores to play some of the more modern 7-string guitars they have, which definitely has a thinner neck, so that was sort of definitely a thing that happened to this guitar. But overall, kind of after you get used to it, it's not that hard to play. I have pretty large hands, I think, so it's not really an issue for me, but might be to some people if you pick up these old guitars. Definitely a thing to note. Back when these guitars came out, I'm pretty sure that the EMG 7-string pickups hadn't come out yet. So this one has passive pickups, specifically Seymour Duncan's. It has a JB and a 59, which is not models you see in any guitars sold today, or you see them in the 6-string configurations, but you don't really see a lot of 7-string selling with these. And you can sort of tell why. I guess this is sort of, when 7-strings started to become a thing, the pickup manufacturer like, oh, we'll just do 7-string versions of our existing pickups. And maybe that wasn't the best kind of methodology to getting 7-string pickups. So nowadays you will see a lot of pickups that's designed specifically for 7-string that doesn't have a 6-string equivalent. But this is just kind of, let's just make a 7-string version of a JB and a 59. And it sounds okay. With some tweaking of an amp and tube screamer, you can definitely get it to sound really good. And then another thing that's very, I guess, characteristic of all the guitars is that it has pickup rings on a 7-string guitar, where most guitars nowadays just have direct mounted pickups. These have the pickup rings, I guess, sort of that everything from had before like the mid 2000s. I guess Ibanez started with that. Direct mounting on the 7 strings, like the 1527 and stuff like that. So the bridge pickup is by far the most usable on this. Of course, you have the neck pickup. It can do some very smooth leads, and it can also do some decent clean sounds. So this is just the neck pickup. Definitely more of a vintage vibe, I would say, which is actually quite nice to have. So kind of out of the 7-string guitars I have, this is sort of a pretty different option. So I think I'm just going to keep this pickup as it is. The bridge pickup, again, it works fine. It really needs sort of a tube screamer, so that's engaged here. So for being able to use this guitar sort of without a tube screamer, I would definitely want to upgrade the bridge pickup to something a bit more high output and something with a bit more mids. So this pickup is fairly scooped on its own, so a tube screamer helps because it pushes the mids and it just pushes the volume, right? So I have a Black Winter 7-string pickup lying around, and in the future I'll make a video where I'll swap these around and see what changes that introduce. So this is the bridge pickup without a tube. So it's definitely not driving the amp in the same way at all. So yeah, really the tube screamer is sort of what makes this this thing fly. So overall, I would say this is a pretty great guitar. It's the first guitar I have with a longer scale length. And yeah, it definitely has a bit different sound, and it sounds pretty mean. It's I guess getting into that baritone territory, and yeah, it's definitely kind of a chucking machine. The neck, as I said, is a bit too thick, to be honest. Like if you play this all day, you will get a bit fatigued in the hand because of it. But it stays in tune greatly, and it sounds pretty great. And yeah, it should, for me at least, be pretty easy to swap out the pickups, because the pickup rings. So that's nice. Yeah. So yeah, if you come across these on the used market and like, oh, that's an old piece of crap, then you might want to think twice, because actually these are pretty amazing guitars that are not that far from really modern spec guitars. So I think they're definitely worth checking out. So with that, bye for now.